What is up, my little Deinos? Vepsis, CEO coach of the Helsinki Hydreigons, and we are here for the UBL Season 7 Week 8 battle when he go up against Sventhoon and his team being the Uppsala Umbreons. And before we jump into this matchup, I do want to take a brief moment to mention that it has been tough times, as we know, in a real world in itself, and it's no difference for me. Living in Finland in itself, something that is happening right now in real world, you all probably know by now, as this video is going up, and it's been going on for a while actually when it's been going up. So hopefully it's not gonna take too much away from my focus, but I definitely have noticed it definitely affects me in a different ways, and it's made my life a lot more stressful living so close to the Russia. And it's a very difficult time, and the things that are happening in the world right now is so evil and so unnecessary. So I really just hope for Ukraine's sake and everybody's sake involved that the war should be ending soon. But more to the happier thoughts, a little bit escape from that. We are here for the Week 8 battle. Like I said, I'm gonna be going through the team of 6 that I'm gonna be bringing for this battle versus Sventhoon, who is somebody that I may go up against in playoffs, and I'm taking that to account. I'm bringing a pretty straightforward, but I think also very efficient team, and I don't think I'm gonna be revealing too much of my cards going into playoffs, but I also think it has a solid chance to win today, and hopefully that's gonna be the case. But if you wanna skip this part of the video, the timestamp should be popping right about now on your screen in front of the Metacross in itself, and I'm gonna be going very briefly the team of 6 that we are gonna be bringing. And we are gonna be starting this off with a Metacross with Medium Mass and Headbutt, Stomping Tantrum and Thunder Punch. Electric and ground coverage went pretty well combined. Its dual stab to hits the entire team were pretty good damage overall. And then we are running Assault Vest and basically just max HP and max PDF. This is here just to take special hits from the things like the Psychic Terrain abuses in DD and Alakazam. It can take hits from something like a Rotom Frost, for example, pretty well, and Dragalsi. So it felt like pretty essential, but also very efficient mode to bring into this matchup, and I don't think it's going to be too big of a surprise for Sventhoon that I would be bringing this kind of Metacross. I would imagine this is the first thing he expects to see on the team preview anyway. So next member of our team is going to be Expert Belt 4 attacks, Landorus Incarnate with the Sand Force, of course, with Earth Power, Sludge Bomb, Psychic, and Crash Knot. This thing actually has a very good matchup offensively wise, considering the coverage and stab that I have with Ground. I have Sludge Bomb to hit the Tapu Bulu quite effectively, that is the ground resist on the team. I have Psychic to hit the ground immunity being Galarian Zapdos, and then I have the Crash Knot that hits really hard things on like Palossand, and Blastoise takes a little bit more from Crash Knot than from Earth Power in itself to combine with the Expert Belt boost in itself. So very solid mod breaking wise, I think, and I'm hoping that it's gonna be doing decent amount of work in this first matchup that we are gonna be playing with Sventhoon, and maybe we end up have to resort to it one way or another again in playoff matchup. We have to wait and see, but if that time does arrive that we play again in playoffs, because it's very soon, it's only this and one more battle that we have left in the regular season, then it's already playoff time, so it's coming very soon. Then the next member of our team is gonna be Choice Scarf Tapu Koko with the Thunderbolt, Dazzling Gleam, Volt Switch, and U-Turn. This is there just to be able to revenge kill something like a Shell Smash Blastoise, also providing me the fastest mode in the game, outpacing his potential Scarf versus. Galarian Zapdos could easily be a Scarf versus me, while it could also be something else, but in case it's a Scarf or anything else, this thing should be the fastest one in the battle in itself. And again, nice failsafe for the Blastoise in itself. And then the next member of our team is gonna be Clawitzer, yet again coming in with a Assault Vest. Like this thing and Metacross have come now back-to-back weeks with the Assault Vest, but honestly, they are pretty good at using those and hitting things back pretty hard with their coverage and stab. And for this case, it's not gonna be too much different from last time. We are running Water Pulse, Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse, and Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb similar to Landorus Incarnate is just there to cover Tapu Bulu. Dragon Pulse hits the Dragalsi very hard, combining Mega Launcher ability. Dark Pulse is there to hit the Psychic types harder. And Water Move in itself is pretty good versus his team as well, considering the fact that I have a good coverage to combine those. The only thing that I guess can wall me a little bit would be like a really fat Blastoise, but if it's a fatter Blastoise, I feel like I'm less worried about it. But I might regret that later on. But either way, it's gonna be, I think, a pretty solid member here to utilize, as not only to be able to swap into special attacks here and there, but also hitting back pretty hard itself too. And then we are running heavy duty boots, more of a like a sort of physically defensive, but also has decent amount of speed on it with blue flare, scorching sands, U-turn and taunt. Taunt is there to prevent stealth rocks coming from a Heatran, and also preventing Blastoise to set up on me with Cell Smash. U-turn for initiative. Scorching Sand is there to hit the Heatran relatively good damage depending on its spread in itself. I do expect like special defenses, so it may not do more than like 35% or something like that, depending on again our spreads in itself. And Blue Flare is just a nice stab to have. This thing can take on some of the physical attackers relatively well and just provide me initiative and make sure that it's not a setup fodder for things like Blastoise, for example, in itself. And then we are bringing a Choice Scarf Hydreigon with a Draco Meteor, Dark Pulse, Earth Power, and U-turn. And this is there just to be able to outpace things like the Alakazam and Indeedee, for example. And it's overall just a very solid mod because the fact that the Heatran being his Steel type will be pressured by something like Victini already being worn down, and his Fairy type happens to be Dedenne, which I already hit with Ground Move as well too. So Hydreigon also has a pretty decent matchup here, so I believe that's gonna be the entire team as it is. Yep, that's the entire team, so now let's go and see how this battle is turning out. Alright, here we are with the battle with Sventhoon. Let's go and see how this is gonna be going. He is a tough opponent to go up against, somebody that I never got to play for versus in Draft League format, but as you can tell from his record on the bottom right corner, he's also 5-2 as we are, and he has done well in other Wi-Fi leagues that I haven't been part of yet before to got to play him. But let's go and see. I am bringing a little bit of like a B team and a very straightforward team. And now we do see from his side he's bringing the DEDENNE'S, so he might be having a similar thought, but he's trying to do something very different than what I'm trying to do. So we see Blastoise, Alakazam, Dedenne. I had a funny feeling this Dedenne might show up today, cause both of us are pretty much going to be making the playoffs at this rate. He has to still get a little bit of differential or a win, I believe, in order to make it, but then we see Heatran and Tapu Bulu and Dragalsi. So my Metagross route is very valuable in this game. We don't see Galarian Zapdos, which I guess is a little surprising. As of a lead, I kinda like my Landorus. It can threaten quite a few things. Quite literally everything except the first two. So I think I stick that as my lead. But this is gonna be an interesting matchup for sure. I guess the one worry is that if he gets the leads with the Dragalsi to get up T-Spikes, but I think I'll stick regardless. Stick regardless with that lead, I'm not gonna think too much about it. But if he has T-Spikes on Dragalsi because I don't bring Rolls Red, it can be a little bit annoying, but we'll see. It could also be like flip turn 3 attacks that I would have to worry about. But good luck and have fun to Sventhoon. I hope it's gonna be a fun and close battle. And maybe like a preview for something to look for in playoffs as a rematch as well. But interesting to see what he's gonna be having on his sets. Stormburger, which is the Blastoise, okay. Turn 1 that I didn't really want to see. At this point I probably would have to swap into my Cloyster. That's probably what I would have to do here. I'm not gonna stay in on this. And my Cloyster is a Southwest that hopefully can take this thing out relatively fine. It could be a bulkier set based on how it's been. Okay, it's gonna be just going for a flip turn. So that indicates me that this could be like a maybe a Southwest, maybe just a defensive Blastoise. But he does go for the flip turn, and now Tapu Bulu would most likely come in. Which I don't mind too much, because I have Victini actually as a response for Tapu Bulu, because it's actually relatively like physically bulky. Not a whole lot, it's not like a quote-unquote wall. I don't think Victini can really be a wall necessarily. Well, maybe it can be, but that's not necessarily what it's intended there to be. And there comes the Tapu Bulu. So unless it's running like a dark move, my Victini should be able to take its hits just fine. The most annoying would be like a lead seat set, but That's not a whole big of an issue, hopefully. We do gain a little bit of left grassy terrain. So we are able to basically be almost a back at 4 with Clyde. So it's basically taking almost minimal damage with the Flipton and gaining that grassy terrain. Let's see what this bull is all about. It's going to be a sword dance set, alright. Alright. I think I just have to attack this. Even if the Hydreigon comes in, I would rather just attack it then with Scorching Sun afterwards. So I'm just gonna respect the threat what is in front of me and just go click Blue Flare. I'm not gonna mess around with this. It could be Okaberry for all I know. But it's interesting that it's going for Sword Dance already. But we're gonna be clicking just Blue Flare here and not really think about it too much. He probably goes into the Hydra, which would be unfortunate. Yeah, there's the Hydra. It's gonna be getting the Flash Fire boost. Which will mean that I probably don't wanna swap in on this, because the grassy terrain is also up. I could go for the Scorching Sands. Or I could honestly just U-turn and go into my Clyde, because he doesn't like switching into it. I could also taunt to prevent rocks. I like taunting here. I think I'd go for taunt and prevent rocks. I feel like that's the likely case that he's gonna be clicking. This is his rocker after all. And he sees that I have Clydes here in the back, so I feel like he's gonna try to like go for a move that... Okay, say Eruption Scarf set. Oh no. Oh no, that's annoying. So it's a Eruption Scarf set and I did not attack this thing, but I should be able to gain some recovery back on this. It's a Scarf Eruption set, which is obviously far from ideal. If I lose this guy, we are a little bit in trouble. So I may have to use Clydeser to deal with this thing, because we are Assault Vest, so we should be taking it okay. It's still Flash Fire boosted, but I need to keep this Victini for the Tapu Bulu, so I have to just go into Clydeser and hope for the best. It does go for the Eruption again. We take it relatively fine and we gain some recovery from there. And now here, I think I'll just fire off a Water Pool, so I don't want to predict around this thing. I need to just hit... I will be able to hit Tapu Bulu in the back as well. With some decent damage, but that's good to keep in mind next time around, that I have to make sure that I don't let this Hydreigon pulling off a Scarf Eruption on me again like that. But there, that was a scary incident. So we have seen Sword Dance Bulu, Scarf Eruption Hydreigon, and a Flip Turn out of Blastoise. He does withdraw probably into Bulu, but I wasn't gonna try to predict in front of that thing. No, he goes into Dragalsi. Alright. We don't do a whole lot of damage to it. We do manage to snag a Confusion. As it's gonna be Black Slug. Okay. This thing could get up T-Spikes. I do have a Metacross in the back, but Metacross is looking so valuable at the late game. So I'm thinking, like, should I just try to two-shot this with Dragon Pulse? Because if that Hydreigon is clicking Eruption again, this won't be a switching anyways to it. So I think I hit what is in front of me. Let's click Dragon Pulse, try to two-shot this thing. He does withdraw again. Okay, he wants to really pivot out and goes back to the Bulu. Oh, Blastoise instead. That's fine too. I don't recognize the nicknames well enough, but the Dragalsi is Black Slug. And that's a decent amount of damage. That is a decent amount of damage on Blastoise. Does that tell me if it's a Assault Vest by any means? Or is it just max HP? That could be just max HP on this case. I could go for a Sludge Bomb, cause then I can snag a poison on this. Or if he goes into Bulu, I'll hit it with a Sludge Bomb. He does go for the Flip Turn. Hopefully we get to see like Tapu Bulu here. That would be lovely to see, to hit that thing with a big old sludge bomb from our Gleitzer. But I feel like Dragalsi is such a safe pivot. Well, I don't know if it may not be, because I've been clicking. Okay, the Tapu Bulu comes in. Please kill this Gleitzer. Come on, don't be Poison Berry. Don't be Kebia Berry. Come on, Gleitzer. Come on, Gleitzer. Kill that Bulu. Come on. Come on. Just go for it. Come on. I want to see this kill. I want to see this kill, Gleitzer. Come on. Come on. There we go, Gleitzer. We are killing grass types over here with our fucking Gleitzer, baby. The cannon. God, I love this Pokemon. This Pokemon is a low tier. It's not that amazing, but just some reason it just suits me so well. I love just using this thing because I can give it like a assault vest most times and just click buttons with it, and it's gonna be doing fantastic amount of work. That's really good because now Victini is not like essential anymore. And now I'm able to gain a little bit of recovery back to this Gleitzer still while I'm in the field. And honestly, what is it wants to take me on other than maybe like the Denny of all things? But even then I'm Assault Vest and I have Sludge Bomb to hit it. But yeah, that was fantastic. We got rid of the Tapu Bulu just like that. Ah, that felt good. I'm not gonna lie, that felt good. I've been a little down today. If you saw my whole team builder, I've been watching too much news, so I should stop watching the news. Like, it's important what is happening, but it can really mess your head if you think about it too much, and that's been the case for me lately. Now, with this Blastoise, I still kind of want to just attack this thing. So I'm gonna go for the Dragon Balls. We go for the Dragon Balls. Is it Mirror Coat? Is that the thing that he's showing for us? Because we outpaced it. Yeah, it's a Mirror Coat. Okay, cool tech from his side. Unfortunately, Gleitzer, you do go down from there, but that does mean that I do get a Tapu Koko relatively freely here. I think that's pretty much what it's telling me, right? How much a Tapu Koko with a... Because we did how much to this thing? Like a third. Even if you're Assault Vest, we should be able to kill it. Now, granted, this could also be Wakamberry. But on that case, I can Volt Switch on this if it's a Wakamberry, because then I go into Hydreigon. I go to Hydreigon if it lives and has a Wakamberry, because Mirror Coat is a Psychic type move, and it should be then... Hydreigon should be immune to it. So I think basically I can just do that. So let's just click Volt Switch here. As far as I can tell, the Denny doesn't have a electric immunity on it. He does hard withdraw. Cannot recognize the nickname, but it is going to be the Dragalsi. Like I've seen a few months, but like they don't just stick in my head at all. I have to apologize on that regard. Landorus. I think Landorus can kind of come in here and kind of murders this Dragalsi, right? Max HP. We know it's not Shuka Berry. We should be able to kill this, right? The other option is that I go into Metacross here. I can send Headbutt pretty freely, right? Well, Stomping Tantrum, to be honest, is pretty free. I kind of want to keep the Landorus still alive. So let's go to Metacross. Just go into Metacross here. I have the electric terrain on my side. And I wasn't too sure if the Landorus actually was able to kill, because the Dragalsi is relatively bulky. And this is where I could click Send Headbutt and it should do good damage to everything. I could also Stomping Tantrum and cover the Heatran. I think I'll just send. He has to worry about an Earthquake. The Blastoise could come in as a sack. I don't think he goes into his Scarf Heatran here. It's too risky in my opinion. But let's see. We do go for the Send Headbutt. We do land it. Ideally this does kill it. Oh, we don't snag the kill. As he does get the Flip Turn off. Okay, that thing is basically dead now though. Dragalsi I can put at like, I don't know, 2% to be modest with it. And Blastoise I would say is like, I don't know, 40% to be very modest with it. And there comes the Heatran. Now, at this point I'm probably okay just sacking Victini. Victini is not necessary for anything else, and then I can get a free swapping to something else to see what it's locked itself into. Most likely Hydreigon will come in and I'll just click Earth Power. But I'll keep the Hydreigon as healthy as possible if I ever have to swap in on this Heatran later on again. And Victini again, I'm sorry that I have to sack you, but because the Tapu Bull is already dead, he goes for the Magma Storm, so that's the move he locks himself into now. Now he would have to land another one. But saying that, it won't mean that he's gonna be missing that if he chooses to stay in. I feel like when you say that, it's definitely gonna land. Either way, I'll click Scorching Sands. And after that, regardless, like, Victini would die, assuming he lands or stays in. He doesn't stay in to risk it, okay. And there's the Dragoutsy. Okay, so he was going to let the Dragoutsy go down here to give a free swapping, but that's fine. Victini, you got to kill somebody, as I almost got a voice crack, as you noticed. I don't know what's happening. I'm a little bit. I guess I was really looking forward to have this battle finally. I've been waiting a little while to get this done, but it's not necessarily his fault nor mine. We kinda agreed to play on this day and be slightly behind the schedule. Here, I think versus the Alakazam again, I'm okay just letting this thing go down, and I'll click U-turn. Off the chance he's doing some funny business. As he just goes for the Shadow Ball, and that is perfectly fine. Now... Okay, he created me as well. Thankfully I didn't swap into anything at that point. Now... I think my best play overall is just to go into my Metagross here. I don't think there's really too much to think about that. I break its potential Focus Sash. I'm fully Spadef and Assault Vest, so the Shadow Ball should not be doing too much. And here... I think just going for a Stomping Tantrum is just overall the best play. I like that, to be able to hit a potential Heatran and just break the Sash. That's the most important right now. Because then Hydra and Coco can revenge kill this, especially Hydra is looking pretty nice. As he does withdraw. And it's going to be the Blastoise that comes here. We are not going to be staying in on this, because I don't want to risk a Scalp Burn or anything like that. But it's getting at least a little bit weaker. Now, what is my most expendable member? Funny enough, it might be actually Landorus. Because Heatran is Scarf, so my best way of revenging it is Hydreigon. I could also go into Coco, to be honest, because what is like this thing going to do to a... Yeah, Coco should be fine coming in. It cannot OHKO me. I'll keep the Landorus just in case at full. It can be useful for the Dedenne, funnily enough. So I guess just use Coco for this, because I should be able to kill this with a Volt Switch after this. But let's see what he does. We have seen Mirror Coat, we have seen it flip turn Body Press. Oh, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. So we have seen Mirror Coat, Body Press. So he tried to catch my Hydreigon on the switch. That's fair enough. But Volt Switch should be fine here. So I can reposition myself. Or if he chooses to swap into the Heatran, I keep the initiative. There we go. The MVP. There it is. The scary lady. I almost call it the scary man. The Dedenne, but it's a lady, of course. So it's the scary lady that we have all been fearing for what it's going to be doing. Like, I'm being sarcastic, and this thing is gonna mess me up somehow. I can already feel it in my bones. This little fellow right here is gonna mess me up somehow that I do not know yet how. Well, let's go for the Earth Power. Looks relatively free. I have Sludge Bomb if it's like Magnerize or something like that, so... And it's gonna be still super effective and boosted by Expert Belt. But let's see, what is this Dedenne? What are your secrets, Dedenne? Why did you come into this game? Show it to us. You're slower than me. I thought Dedenne is supposed to be faster than me. What is this? Oh, it's a speed type potentially. I'm sorry, Dedenne, that you didn't deserve that. We should have seen more out of you. I'm so sorry. Oh, we need to see. You know what? Since if you're on this side, you haven't seen if you haven't seen Sventhoon's side yet, please go and check his side. We need to know the secrets of that Dedenne. Why did it show up? Like, honestly, what is it? What was it doing with it? Like, I get it. It's a. I was about to say it's a decent Hydreigon check, but well, it has the annoying ability plus the citrus berry and recycle. So maybe, yeah, maybe it could have been like specially defensive for Hydreigon. That could have been a thing. Anyways, I've gotta be doing some cogs to see that while he's deciding. He goes into the Blastoise. Okay, I guess this is the best thing to take a hit from me, but I have Grass Knot for this, so as long as you're like not really especially defensive, we should be fine. Either way, I don't need this thing for anything else. So pop it with a Grass Knot. Let's just pop it. Just pop this turtle out of the field. There we go. There's no turtle around here at that amount of health that is gonna be living a Grass Knot for my expert pet Landorus Incarnate. Boomy! Who bailed me out last week from getting swept by a Latias. I'm glad that I'm getting a little bit more humorous about it. I'm a little bit more relaxed because we are so close to the playoffs, and hopefully you enjoy this kind of a little bit more relaxed of me. I wish I could do this more often, but like it's always such a balance when you have a second language with English. Like, I know there's been a topic about Draft League that people are too boring with their commentating and such, and too serious about winning. But they didn't mention anything about that, how difficult it can be for those that English is their second language. Like, it takes a lot of brain power to think of my plays, do all those calkings, and like think in several turns ahead, and then try to be entertaining. Come on now, there's been one person that I've seen in Draft Leagues, and this is no criticism to anybody, but Mega Mogwai back in the day did that at his best. That was able to do all that while the language was English was his second language, and he's somebody that I look up to. But anyways, that's besides all that. We are here for the Pokemon battle versus the Scarf Heatran. Can I live a hit from this guy? Because if I do, we just stay in Eruption at level 50 ideally. It's a roll. It's a roll, not necessarily something I wanna risk around with. I think Hydreigon can come in on this, even a crit. Even a crit mode should not mess me up. Let's go to Hydra. Because Earth Power should be able to pick it up with my Hydreigon afterwards. As we do see the Eruption. And we take it just fine. There we go, Hydreigon. We eat that like a boss. And Alakazam could coming on this Earth Power, but I really don't mind it. Breaking a focus still is nice. And we are just gonna be Earth Powering this and hopefully blow the Heatran all the way up on the field, but there's a chance he tries to preserve this. He has this thing and the Alakazam health left and both at full health. He does stay in, and we do go for the Earth Power. This should be killing you. And there we go. Get out of my sight, Heatran. Hydreigon, baby. Getting a kill. You love to see it. At least for me. I don't know if everybody loves to see it, but I sure do. And then we have just the Alakazam left. And honestly, at this point, I'm just gonna preserve the differential off the chance. Let's just go to the Metagross. I have Coco and Hydreigon that should outpace this. Well, depending on if it's Scarf or not, then only Coco outpaces it. But if it's Scarf, then he cannot really go anywhere here with the Metagross and Hydreigon both still being alive. And Metagross being so healthy too. But let's see. Even if it's like Salakberry, for example, it shouldn't matter. Because again, Scarf Coco should handle it. I wonder what he's thinking about. Okay, we do withdraw, we go into our Metagross. What are you clicking? Are you just gonna respect the threat in front of you? You do respect the threat in front of you. As you should, it's a Hydreigon, come on now. I'm just being very delightful about this. Let's just click Meteor Mass. Let's just go for a medium as a Colossus. There comes the Shadow Ball. You should eat this just fine, Colossus. There we go. And no dropping. And we do go for the medium mass. There we go. And that brings it all the way down. And now we can finish it off with a nice Thunder Punch. Let's just reveal the whole set for him. It doesn't really matter. If he wants to know, he could always watch my side. And that's going to be it. And as long as there's no shenanigans, and there is no shenanigans, the Helsinki Hydreigons will move on to be 6-2. Plus, what is it? Did we win 4-0 or 3-0? I cannot even count at this, even how old I am at this point. 4-0, fantastic. We get a 4-0 win and we are plus 15 difference, so 6-2 going into last week. And we go up against Goldua Dragon, who I believe, as far as I remember, is out of the playoffs. So I don't think there's too much in stake in regards to my opponent, so we'll see how serious it's gonna be. We might end up playing like a quote-unquote serious battle just for, you know, because maybe we don't feel like memeing and such. I don't know how Goldua feels about anything like that, and it could I guess play like affect my seeding. So I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to actually meme the last game regardless Goldua being out of the playoffs, if he is. But either way, make sure to check out my opponent Sventhoon. His YouTube channel link will be down below in the description, just like all the other coaches in this league. And stay tuned for the week 9. It's gonna be the final game of the regular season for everybody included in this league. And let's see how the playoff brackets is gonna be turning out from there, who we get to play and such. I think we are definitely now secure for playoffs, so playoffs are secured, that's good for us, but it's not gonna hopefully end just there within 2 weeks, just like in the Champions of Gala tournament. I wanna make a deep run here, it's the UBL after all, and I'm back. Thank you for watching, I'm gonna be seeing you guys later.